Hi, I'm Kristin, a librarian at Massanutten Regional Library, and for January's craft, we are going to make these cute little snowmen to decorate your house with. So for this craft, we provided these things in your kit. We gave you a little bit of glue because since we're gluing wood together, we knew we were going to need something a little stronger. As always, I prefer hot glue and have my hot glue gun with me, but if you don't have that, you should have gotten this E6000 in your kit, which is very, very strong. We have some pre-cut wood. Now, if you're doing this without a kit, you can always go cut some wood from your own backyard, but honestly, I did not want to take the time and energy. We have a little bit of felt to make the nose with, and some sticks from my own backyard to make the arms with, a popsicle stick to help hold it all together, a little bit of ribbon for a scarf, a handful of buttons here to use for decorations down his shirt, and then some polyfill to use for snow. Now at home you are also going to need a pair of scissors and something to put his face on with. I'm using a Sharpie. So with that, let's get started making our snowman. All right, the first thing we want to do is set out our little wooden rounds. You want to arrange them in order from smallest to largest. You're going to use the three smaller ones as the body, and then the biggest one you will use as the base. So your two biggest ones might be similar in size, so honestly, if you want to use this one as the body, as long as it's, big enough to stand your snowman on there, you should be okay. So I'm going to use these three. Now, to attach these together, you actually want to take a popsicle stick that should be included in your kit. They also call them craft sticks. And you're going to glue it along the back here. So I'm just going to, preferably without burning your hands. Now, if you're using the E6000, it is a very strong glue, so also be careful with that on your hands because you do not want that stuck to your fingers. So, you will just put that and give it a few seconds to dry. Now, if you're using the E6000, it is going to take a little longer to dry, so you need patience. I did test it and it does work, but you just have to have your patience about you. All right, so we'll turn him over and see how he looks there. Not bad. I think the next easiest thing to do is go ahead and decorate his body before we get him standing up. So I provided you a little piece of orange felt, and you just want to cut off a little triangle shape to make a nose with, however you think his nose should look. Look, I said I was going to sharpen these scissors after last time, and I forgot. That's not too bad. All right. Just kind of lay it on there to get an idea. That's a kind of prominent nose, but I sort of like that. All right, I think the best thing to do is to just glue a little bit at the wide end of the nose, because then this narrow end of the nose will stick up and give it a kind of three-dimensional feel. So we'll just pop a little bit of glue there, get rid of those strings, and don't burn your fingers. See? Cute. All right. Next, take your Sharpie, or if you want to use paint or something like that, whatever you have at home that'll do the trick, you can do that as well. And just draw on a little face. So, 2 coal eyes and a little coal mouth. Look at that, he's coming together already. All right, next we're going to glue some buttons on. So I gave you a selection of blue buttons and these little snowflake buttons that were actually found and donated by my mom. She just really knows how to find craft supplies, and she thought these were so cute that I had to use them. So I'm going to go ahead and use the snowflake ones that she gave me. You can also do, like the traditional, kind of thing. But I really like these snowflake buttons, so I'm going to go with those. The joy of these is no two are going to look alike. You will have a one-of-a-kind creation. So there we go. Glue on his other button. Doesn't take much glue here, just a little bit. And you don't want it oozing out too much because then you'll have like funny little lumps there. All right, then we're going to grab our sticks, kind of hold them back to see how they look to you. I think my one arm here looks good and my other arm is way too long, so I'm actually going to snap the end off here. Let's hope I don't snap it too far. There we go. Well, now the one's shorter than the other, but you can adjust that by gluing the one farther inwards. So we're just going to turn him over and glue his arms Now, speaking of patience, if you really want to, you could glue them like sticking out of the side here, but that really takes some patience to hold it while it dries. And frankly, I'm not having that patience today. And I think it looks just as good either way, but again, always personal preference. All right, let's turn him over and see how he looks. Boy, he looks like he's got one big arm and one small arm. My glue's still a little wet there, so I can move him a little. I'm gonna put a little bit more on there just since I wiggled it around. All righty. So now we've got his body together. We are just going to take the biggest piece that we left here and put a big dollop of glue on the base, kind of in the middle there, not so big that, you know, it oozes out from the bottom. That should be sufficient. And just stand him up there. Voila. All right, next we're going to take our little piece of ribbon and wrap it around his neck for a scarf. I find the easiest thing is to put a little dot of glue in the middle of the ribbon and glue it to the back of his neck. So then you can wrap it around kind of however you like. I like to give him a sort of jaunty look. I'm going to give him a little dot of glue there. Not too much, don't get carried away. Just enough to hold it on because you want it to kind of float in the breeze. Then I'm going to glue one little dot on top of that and cross it over here. All right, now I think that scarf's a little long, so I'm just going to trim the edges a little. Beautiful. All right, and lastly, we want to add a little bit of snow, so we're going to take our polyfill. You can add as much or as little as you want. If you like him like this, you can leave him like this with a little naked base. I'm going to put some snow around the bottom so you can see how that works. You don't need too much glue. Just put a little bit around where you want to start gluing and kind of press your polyfill. This stuff is cool because you can like stretch it out, make it fluffier. We're just going to glue around the sides here. Oop, except for my glue sticks falling out, excuse me. Glue around the sides there and give him a nice little snowbank to work with. Now, I've told you I'm not a very crafty person, and a lot of my ideas just come from endless internet searches. And my mom has gotten really into doing these crafts with me. She buys her own supplies and comes over to my house and makes her own crafts. And she thought the snowman looked kind of boring, and she said, hey, he needs some snow. And I just happened to have some polyfill laying around my house, and so this was actually my mom's idea. So thanks, Mom. All right, and there we go. Now he has a nice little snowbank, and with that, your snowman is complete. I hope you enjoyed making the snowman with me today. If you weren't able to get one of the craft kits from the library, it is really simple to put together yourself, relatively inexpensive. Like I said, you can get wood from your own backyard and cut it. Be careful. I got these just at a craft store, and popsicle sticks are a dime a dozen at craft stores. All these supplies, easy to get at any craft store, Walmart, wherever you do your shopping for craft stuff. Find some sticks in your backyard, piece of cake. And now you have cute little decoration to decorate for the rest of the winter. So with that, happy crafting!